there, just wanted to make a quick update video. There's actually a lot of stuff going on. I think it was probably about 2 weeks ago now. I had the truck was running great, except for some boost leaks, which those of you who have watched the channel know that that has been a thing that's really been a challenge for me to deal with. And I had them sealed up, and in the process of that, I had to make some new gaskets and stuff like that. And I also had to pull off the injection lines that go over the top of the motor. And while I had those off, I've also been kind of tracking down some leaks around the injector area, like some diesel leaks. And I had tightened down the injector hold down nuts to quite a bit above spec, which is kind of done at your own peril, but a lot of guys online talk about it. So, and then I had narrowed it down to the injector return line nuts, the banjo bolts. So I had that to the point where it wasn't leaking anymore, but when I had the injection line or the injector lines off, I sprayed some brake clean around there, and some, I guess, had gotten in the bodies of the injectors. So I went over it with compressed air and blew out the bodies as well as around the manifold and the head and all that kind of stuff, just so that I'd be able to see future leaks a little bit easier with everything clean. And got her all bolted up and went to start it, and all of a sudden, it was just clouds of white smoke, and sounded like it was running on about 2 cylinders. So I had thought that maybe the problem was something to do with the head, because it just felt like it had no compression, and I thought that maybe some junk had gotten in there from when I was replacing the gaskets on the intake manifold. So anyways, pulled the head and there was no problem at all. In fact, everything looked great, but 4 of the pistons had diesel all over them. So the next step was the injectors, and I took those out, brought them to a local shop, and explained what had happened with the brake clean, and they thought that there's no way that would ever damage an injector. And these injectors purchased from Power Driven Diesel less than a year ago, like I say, it was running perfectly moments before I took it apart. So I also spoke with my dad, who's a heavy-duty mechanic and an all-around knowledgeable guy, and he also agreed there's no way that brake clean should have damaged anything. So I called Power Driven Diesel, and they also thought that there's no way brake clean should have damaged anything. So however, I just got news today. I had sent them back to Power Driven Diesel to just assess it and see if it was a warranty situation or just what was going on, because I had brought it to a local shop and they confirmed that there was a problem with them. So anyways, I called Power Driven Diesel this morning. They said that they had some gunk in them, or there was some sort of stuff that had gotten in there. I don't know how. I have an AirDog lift pump with new filters. I don't think there's any way it came through that, but my suspicion is that the brake clean possibly loosened some carbon deposits, maybe inside the injectors, and possibly that caused the seats to stick open. I'm really not too sure, but either way, good news that new ones are on the way. So the next thing that's going to be happening is this injection pump. I don't even know if you can pull it off with the head still on there. It might be possible, but I'm gonna pop that off now that it's nice and easy, and get it cranked up, get the barrels racked, maxed and balanced. And then while I've got that off, I've got the industrial injection tappet cover, which is this piece right here. So I've got a leak, an oil leak that's been coming from somewhere. So the leak is possibly pan gasket, and then the wind from driving is blowing the oil up the side of the block, or else it's possibly blow by, and that tappet cover has a breather on it. So maybe it's oil coming out of that, or else maybe when I put the RTV on the tappet cover, it was leaking from there, possibly. So either way, it'll be nice to have access to all this kind of stuff. So I'm going to pull the injection pump off and get that into the local shop on Monday morning, and hopefully get that done. And then I'm just waiting on the injectors to get back. Just have to give a big thanks to Power Driven Diesel. you know, it's a weird situation, and they didn't leave me hanging. You know, they cleaned them or did whatever needed to be done, and I've sent them back. And I purchased a lot of stuff from them on this project, like a lot. And you know, being that this is my first time vehicle project of any type, not, you know, and definitely the first time being around diesels, and you know, I went through and rebuilt the transmission with one of their kits, and you know, put their compound turbo kit on. And I mean, it was a lot of money spent there, but they've also given me back a lot in service and help, because you know, Dustin and the guys, especially Dustin with a couple of the trickier problems, he always, you know, was willing to help out. And you know, it was pretty challenging at times trying to get through it. So I don't know that I can even call this their problem. It just was such a weird situation to go from perfectly running to completely not running, and you know, out of nowhere everything's all brand new. It should be fine, but it's probably something to do with the brake clean loosening some deposits in there or something. I don't even know. But yeah, just big thanks to them. Once again, they've really helped come through and save my bacon when I was having a tough time. So I've got a couple other pretty interesting announcements coming up. My Dakota, I've been humming and hawing about that for quite some time, whether I want to build the 5.9 or, you know, put a different motor in there or what. And actually, I've got a line on a 6-liter truck, like it's not an LS, but you know, a 6-liter modern truck motor. And I'm going to be putting that in there with some sort of transmission. I haven't got that far yet. And I'm going to take the perfect running 5.9 out of the Dakota and the transmission, and I'm probably going to put that in my Xterra at some point. It's pretty low mileage, tons of torque down low, you know, just a good running engine. So pretty excited about that. I'll probably put like an Atlas 2 transfer case on the back of the 46RE, and should make for a pretty cool rig when it's all done. So anyways, possibly the 6-liter might go in a different vehicle, but I would say like 90% I'll be pulling it out of the Dakota and just keeping that motor stock in something else. So that's pretty fun. Been out quadding and filming like crazy lately. And I actually have another announcement that I need your help with. My wife has agreed to me getting a drift car when the channel is monetized, so I need to get 1,000 subscribers and then a bunch of watch time. But definitely, if you're watching this stuff and not subscribed, please do subscribe, because you know, a drift car hangs in the balance, and for the love of God, I need one of those. So you know, if you want to watch this stuff, or even if you think that, you know, some of the future videos might be interesting, just go ahead and subscribe, or maybe pass it on to a friend, because like I say, you know, I've got this deal pending and I really need to get to 1,000 subscribers. So anyways, that's about where we're at. I've actually, because the big truck is sort of non-operational right now, I have been putting the Dakota, or I've been putting my quad in the Dakota, which is absolutely hilarious to see a quad that big and a truck that small. But the Dakota's handling it fine. I mean, it's got plenty of power for it. You know, the front end's not all up in the air and weird like I thought it would have been, so it's been surprisingly well. And that's going up and down the Sea to Sky Highway, which is very twisty and turny and lots of hills on it and stuff. So yeah, anyways, so that's where I'm at. Just wanted to do a little update. I was thinking about it the other day. This channel's called 12 Valve Dually, and there sure is not that many videos with this truck in it. So really need to get this thing back in action and get out and enjoy it like the whole plan was in the first place to build it. So anyways, that's about where I'm at for right now. Lots of fun stuff coming up. Really excited to be getting into more of the outdoorsy action type things, and a little bit less of just the shop blah blah. Like this video. So another piece of pretty exciting news that I actually haven't mentioned on this channel at all is I grew up with this old 1954 Mack B20P that my dad had wanted since he was a little kid. When I was 7, me and him went on this little road trip with a couple other friends and picked it up, and it's always been this really cool old truck sitting out in this shed behind their house. And you hear ran when parked. This thing ran perfectly when parked. It was a completely functional operational vehicle. It didn't have some weird knock or something. It, you know, it was my dad's baby and it was running perfect. And around the time we moved, his life got a lot busier and stuff, and it just, thank God he had the foresight to store it. But just, his interests and his time just went in a different direction. And so recently, I had always thought on some level that I would buy it or take it over years down the road. He had just mentioned that he was planning on selling it, and I just jumped at the chance to buy it. And it was a pretty funny negotiating process. I wanted to pay 10, and he refused to take a nickel more than 7 to me. And I even showed him some examples of trucks in way worse shape. There was some beat up old junky trucks just like it for sale for thousands more. And I showed him the ad, and I said, even at 10, you're giving me a smoking deal. And, look at what these trucks are going for. And he said, well, if you like those trucks so much, go buy them. He said, this one's 7,000. So thanks, Dad. That was nice of you. So anyways, I don't really have the shop space or the trailer because they live on an island, so I'd have to get it ferried across, and it's a whole ordeal. But I am going to go up to their place in the near future and at least just try and get it running. I know these Will It Run videos are super popular, and I love watching them too. So the difference is the people who do those videos are kind of used to working on old vehicles, and I'm definitely not. So it's going to be all new for me, but I don't plan on driving it out of there because it is still kind of parked in this barn, and I don't have a place to put it. I don't have, it's on tires. It's been parked for 30 years. So these old sketchy tires that were probably, more than 10 years old when he got it. There's no way I would drive down the highway on those, and weird old brake systems and all that kind of stuff, because it's very mountainy terrain between here and there. But, at least could I get it running? So I'm going to go there and pull the spark plugs and spray some WD-40 or something in there. I still have a lot of research to do, and then see if I can get it turning over by hand and put some batteries on it and just see if it'll fire to life. And, it'd be pretty cool to see that old girl making some noise. I have no interest in the motor that's in it. I'm hoping also to get it running and just use it as a proof and maybe sell it to a Mac enthusiast or something like that. I am definitely going to be putting a 12 valve in it. I'm still a little undecided on the transmission. I might go an NV 4500 with a beefy clutch, or possibly go through the process of rebuilding a 46 RE like I did in my truck, and then just make it full manual valve body. I'll also be wanting to get rid of the axles and shortening up the wheelbase and new rims and tires and all that kind of thing. But in the first step is just try and get it running and just get my hands on it and get familiar with it a little bit. So that'll be something that's maybe coming up in the next month, and really looking forward to that. It might be that I can't get it running, or who knows. I mean, I don't really know much about points and all that kind of stuff, but I'll give it a try, see what happens. So anyways, that's pretty much all that's going on right now. I'm definitely having a lot more projects than time at the moment, but I'm having fun being busy with all this kind of stuff, and really hope to keep pumping out some videos and growing the channel, and try and turn this into something that people really enjoy watching and I enjoy making too. So anyways, that's pretty much all I got for today. Just want to say thanks for watching. Please, for the love of God, subscribe, because I need a drift car, and I just can't wait to start getting into that kind of stuff. I'm probably going to go with an Infiniti G35. The prices on those are pretty low right now, but definitely got to get the channel monetized before my wife will sign off on that. So anyways, that's about all I got for today. Please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care.